Having the whole family at home during the quarantine has been a great thing for a lot of families, but not for everyone. Take Gavin Rossdale, for example. He shares custody of his 3 sons with his ex-wife, Gwen Stefani, and he revealed that co-parenting during the quarantine has been a bit difficult. So Blanca Cobb is diving into this topic today. Blanca, what do you think is a common co-parenting problem during this pandemic?
How are you going to be spending time with the kids? So it depends on your custody arrangement, how that works out. And it's very difficult because if you may not have the children, but it's the best thing for the kids to stay put and be in one household. So you think about it with the stay-at-home orders, there's limited driving, there's social distancing. It makes it more difficult to be able to trade off the kids so much because you want to decrease the risk of exposure for your children and for yourself. And what that means is you're going to have less time with them.
So is there any way to make this fair for both parents during this time and their children?
That's a really good question, Tracy, and it really depends on the custody arrangement. Some custody arrangements would allow parents to discuss it with themselves and try to figure out a plan. Other ones are more stringent, which means you're going to have to talk to your attorney to see what options that you have. But let's say that you can talk to your ex and try to figure it out. See what you can do. And again, you have to focus on what's best for the children. And I know it's going to be very hard for you because of that loneliness and you want to be with your kids. So sometimes doing the right thing can be very difficult.
Well, right now, I mean, there's a chance that it won't work out in your favor and you won't be able to see your children as much during this quarantine. What are some suggestions on ways to handle that?
Well, if you're the parent who has the children, you want to make sure that the kids know that their mom or dad can't see them because of what is going on. It isn't an issue that they don't want to. It's pragmatically, they just cannot do it. So you want to make sure the kids understand because you don't want your kids to internalize and say, well, why doesn't my mom or dad want to spend time with me? And then a lot of times the experts will say, when kids are with the one parent, the other parent should limit contact. I'm not saying no contact, but limit it because it's really the time for the kids to be with that parent. However, in a situation like this is where you really need to be flexible and have open communication. So if this means longer FaceTime or more frequent phone calls and consistent texting, then that should be okay. And then one thing to think about is if you don't get a lot of time with your kids now, that perhaps maybe you can talk with your ex-spouse and see what you can do after everything goes back to normal and the stay-at-home orders are lifted and you can see your kids a little bit. Maybe some trading off some time is what I'm getting at.
All right, thanks for your insight, Blanca. I'm sure this is affecting many parents and families across the triad. You can continue this conversation with Blanca on her Facebook page. She is Blanca Cobb, body language expert. We'll be right back.